Alright guys, so what do you think? This is the next day. I'm sorry to say I couldn't finish the project because it rained out yesterday. But I was managing to test fit everything last night after it rained, after the girls were asleep. It came out in the dark and worked into the into the night. But here you go, I fitted everything last night. Overall, it was a pretty easy project, but it really looks nice against this black and white theme. Again, we have the blacked out windows, so this one really fits. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of second guessing it because of the fact that it lacks coverage. And the main reason why I got this is because I want to go ahead and protect the bumper. And as you can tell from here, or maybe you can't tell, I'll go ahead and do a closer look with the, I'll go handheld soon, but it's not protecting the valance at all, or even the bumper. Now, the pros about this is it doesn't set off the sensors when you're reversing. It's lightweight. Maybe goes ahead and gives you a little bit extra miles per gallon versus the double tube ones. But the double tube ones will go ahead and set off your sensors right here and all along the rear. So when you're backing up, it will go ahead and set off your sensors. So you can't rely on your sensors. You have to really rely on your backup camera to see whether or not you're hitting something. Overall, that's something that you have to live with the double decker or the double tubing. This one, it doesn't do that, and I'll go ahead and prove it later by doing a separate segment or a separate video in another segment. But for now, the thing is, the whole purpose of this was to go ahead and protect the bumper. Now, even though it doesn't set off the sensor, let's say someone hits you, bumper taps you. You really have to be a really low vehicle, a lowered Miata or any type of lowered vehicle to go ahead and really be able to hit this. And no one really wants to hit it on purpose, right? No one's gonna, bumper tap you on purpose, but that's the reality of NYC parking. So when they hit this, you're managing to go ahead and even a fender bender situation, yes. Just a low speed, you're gonna go ahead and mess up the sensors. You can go ahead and mess up this rear hatch, which is plastic, by the way. You can hear, but it also goes ahead and, it's a really expensive fix. So we don't want to do that. So the whole point of this was to protect anything from happening in the future. And I'm sorry to say, report back that this single tubing really doesn't protect much. The kit itself has decent instructions, but it's not step by step. So you really have to go ahead and lay everything out and make sense of it. But it's really self-explanatory at the same time. But the thing is, it doesn't come with the M12 bolts, 4 of them. You have to source them all out, even though the kit says that to use the OEM bolts. But Toyota doesn't have the OEM bolts. They actually cover it with the plugs. So that's the biggest drawback last time that I couldn't finish the project on day one. Actually, let me go ahead and do a walk around right now, handheld, to give you guys a better look. All right, guys, so here's a closer look at everything. Here's a clearance overall. Right there at the corner, as you can tell, it's hitting the valance a little bit, right? But it's held on by 2 brackets right here. This is the adjusting bracket. You have some 19mm bolts right here, some washers, and then you have the main bracket right under, and we're going right under here. So you have your main bracket right under here, right? And then from here you have to remove the under housing to shield the plastic cover right under here. This is a made in China product, as you can see from the side, right there. And again, the bolts that are not included is the gold bolts right here, sourced from Dorman, the M12 ones. And here it is, moving from the side. So again, install was pretty straightforward. I'm going to talk about the directions. The directions were not so informative, but it really makes sense once you lay everything out. All right, excuse the wind, I have to go ahead. So, in this video, I just want to show you guys, pros and cons, if you guys are considering it. Pros, I wouldn't say there's many, to be quite honest, other than the fact that it fits, it sways out just a little bit, it curves out. It's really more of like a kind of like a trailer hitch height in terms of clearance. Here it is from top to bottom. So it's gonna lower your ground clearance a little bit from the departure angle right there. Maybe go for the double tubing. Double tubing will definitely go ahead and protect it. I've seen a few vehicles with it like so, but it's also going to set off your kick sensors. I mean your backup sensors. Now kick sensor wise, I'll transition to that. It's harder to go ahead and access that, meaning that when you kick like that, it's really a hit or miss. But we'll talk about that in a few minutes or so. Wow, it is windy today, so I hope this doesn't affect my. And then we'll talk about the backup sensors. We'll talk about that. So one of the good things about this Blackhorse unit is the fact that it doesn't set off any backup sensors. So the thing that's going off right now is actually the front driver's side left. So when we put it on reverse, this bar right here does not set off any backup sensors. So that's a good thing, right? But then again, that's the benefit of having the single tube, right? Trade-off is less protection. One of the main drawbacks that has me second guessing is the fact that it makes it very inconvenient to open the rear hatch with the kick to motion sensor to open the lift gate. So here I am normally, right, without this bar, I could just kind of kick it right under the logo and then fall back. But I mean, for the winter, I've been disabling it because of I don't drive the car as much and because of the 12-volt battery drain. So, but right now it's activated. And here it is. So it makes it really kind of hard, right? Basically, the backup sensor is right here. So I have the key right here, and I just kind of push it like that. And then there you go, right? But because we have a Blackhorse Peerless tube here, it's preventing my foot from kind of, you can kind of manipulate it. Again, it's hit or miss, but here you go. Yeah. So that's the thing. It's hit or miss. It should come down right now, yes. So it makes it a little bit harder. Well, not a little bit. I think it really hinders it. So again, I don't know if I should keep it. I'm gonna try it again. All right. So now it's functioning on camera always, right? But again, it's not 100% active all the time when I do it. So there you go. And another thing is getting the wagon or any type of heavy objects over and about is a little bit harder as well. So I'll demonstrate taking out the wagon because there's an overhang right here, so you can't get as close to it. I'm gonna go ahead and clip this on right here and just show you guys the extra. I mean, it's not that bad, right? But you have to kind of reach over and pull out wagon like so. And then and I have to also talk about this plate right here that we had to take out, but for now we'll put this away. All right, now when putting everything back, you have to kind of reach over and kind of like that. You don't get as close to the car as you would like. And then I mean, it's really not that bad, but it also kind of makes me rethink whether or not I should keep it, the pros and the cons. So I'm just giving you guys, again, like, you know, a list of what you should expect. If you go for the Blackhorse, you might want to consider something else rather than this one, the single tube. But again, it doesn't affect the sensors when you're backing up. Now, one other thing you have to do is excuse the dirty under panel, but you have to kind of cut this out. This is the portion that you cut out. It's very tiny, right, for the bracket, but here it is under it. So I taped it just in case. I'm gonna go ahead and do the cutting, but for now I'm holding off on it for now. And this is the panel that comes off on the driver's side, so it goes like this. So you have to cut that portion out to go ahead and make way for the panel for the bracket. So that's another thing that you have to keep in mind. Now, another reason why I don't want to keep it is the fact that it's too low. I feel like the Blackhorse bumper guard is just a little bit too low. So I mean, sure, you could go ahead and protect it against sedans during light bumper taps, but if you have like a full-on, even a crossover SUV with decent ground clearance, it's gonna go, once you hit it, it's gonna tap directly into your rear hatch. So that's still gonna be an expensive fix. And I mean, I don't know. I'm not feeling it. All right, now let's say you are parked right next to a sedan, parallel parked and everything. For the most part, you know, they'll probably grab the bumper guard initially before ending up hitting something here. But I think as in terms of sedan protection, bumper protection, yes. For a lowered car protection, it would definitely work. All right, and it's nice that it doesn't go ahead and hinder these backup sensors, right? But for SUVs, again, I don't think it's gonna do any type of protection. So it really has me thinking, rethinking, second guessing whether or not I should keep this. But looking back, it really does complete the look, right? Kinda seems out of place, but at the same time, kinda like it, or at least that's my opinion. But overall, I think that's it, right? I hope this video was helpful and makes you guys decide whether or not you should go for it. All right, guys, so on that note, I hope this video was useful. I definitely spent a lot of time doing this video and installing it multiple days. I think it took me like 3 days to actually finish everything because I was recording. But for the most part, if you guys are installing this firsthand, you don't need a jack, you don't need a lift or anything like that. So that's the bright side. It's pretty straightforward when it comes to laying the parts out and really thinking about it, and then from there it should be good. But let me know what you guys think. You know, in my initial impressions, I don't think it's gonna be as useful as I thought it would be. So far, I'll check back in next time. Most likely, I'm leaning towards not keeping it. See you guys in the next one. Thank you.